Wow, better be glad you haven't been with us the last week or two. We've had negative 21-degree temperatures and we have busted pipes to fix. And that's all we've been doing. We're doing 12 to 16 hours a day, crawling underneath houses that are soaking wet, particularly the guy who's running the camera. Fixing water heaters and everything in terrible temperatures. I should have took you along with it. I'll have to do that at some point, how to fix your own water heater. Probably quite a few other things to show you. But what we're doing today and for the rest of this week and maybe part of the next is remodeling this bathroom. The problems they have with this bathroom is they don't like the location of this older, dull yellow looking shower that has a busted bottom. And they don't use the garden tub, which the garden tub takes more than a water heater to fill. So it's just for looks. So we're going to take this garden tub out, which we'll cut it in pieces. And then we'll put the shower that they're going to purchase and put it either this way or this way, whichever way they want. We're going to take the batten strips off of the wall, nail down the nails. We're going to finish the drywall. And we're going to texture all these walls and paint them. Now, we're taking this wall out, so we'll have to take out some of the plumbing and rearrange the drain over here. I haven't heard yet what they want to do about this cabinet, or if I have heard. It's been a month, so people kind of have to wait till I get here. Then we're going to take this doorway out and fill it in. And it'll be 3/8 drywall because most drywall on these things are not 1/2 inch, they're 3/8. You can do it with 1/2 inch, but you have to set your wood back and or you have to finish way far. You'll always show a lot more. So, and we'll do the same on this side, repair that area there. And because this is wallpaper covered and we can't match that coat, that pattern, we'll end up taking all the batten strips off in this area all the way to here. And we'll texture and paint all this area. So, then we got another bathroom. Which they've already started by putting in a new cabinet and new flooring. Looks like a new toilet and a new bathtub. The bathtub, trim around that. It should have been inside the drywall. Normally you would put drywall over top of that and then you can make it look real smooth. But we'll put a PVC trim around that so it doesn't look so bad. And all this will be textured and painted also. It has a hole. This should have caught, but these flimsy doors bend. Yeah, it's working. So it just must have happened before that was there, or
before I put the floor
came loose. So that's what we're doing. All right. So if you notice, there's screws here that hold. Supposed to hold. That's stripped, sorta. Broken tip on top of that. Okay. Well, I should have 4 or 5 of those. I took out of your phone.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, so all these screws are stripped out. That's not always the case, but at least partially. Use a screwdriver or something. If you can, we'll hold up to it. You see these a lot around bathtubs. This is a quick way to run water. You should have had a sealant right there, but dresses up this edge, what the factory did. And they don't have to be terribly tight against the wall. They can cover over a pretty good sized gap. Okay, then they have a screw right here into a stud holding it. Another one over here. And one right here. If I was concerned about saving this tub and putting it back or something, I would go underneath and pull the drain out and take this panel here off, which we will do, and disconnect it and then lift it out. But I'm not interested in saving this. Nobody wants a Harvest Gold tub, and or it's not really Harvest Gold, it's just light yellow. And see, this is the original color and it faded to a darker color. But nobody wants this, so I'm going to cut it up in pieces. And this garden tub arrangement is just not up to par for any other thing. So we will cut this thing in pieces, and that means I will tear out the wall around it, and that's what we're doing next. Normally you'd have to get a pry bar and mess around with it, but it's not really built real strong, so I'm gonna pull it up. Break it. Usually it's held off by screws. That's why scratching the wall there. But I'm going to be fixing all that, so we'll pry bar that up. Looks like got a mechanical vent there. We won't need that. We'll have to go underneath and cut it and cap it. You might could use the mechanical vent inside the wall, but I want to be careful about doing that because I don't want to go through the roof because they just put a brand new roof on. So we're going to go be back and forth through this doorway, so I'm going to take the door out since it's going out anyway. And we can get all this stuff out so we can work. So we pulled the garden tub out. It was, we could have cut it in pieces, but it will literally turn on its edge and then walk it out. Cut the drain, cut the two supply lines, and then it came right out. You saw me take the wall off. It's really not difficult. If you want to protect your flooring, you're not going to want to anyway because you're not going to put something back in the same place that's the same size. You're going to have to change your flooring. Now we're taking the stand-in tower out. It's just all the same thing as the the garden tub. It's screws that holds the trim, and then the surround itself is fastened to the wall with screws, and we pulled that. A lot of times people don't know a lot of bathroom shower in mobile homes, they have this part right here is threaded. It's threaded, and you have to unscrew that and pull it back, and then there's a nut here that tightens it to the drywall. So there's nothing in there but the drywall to support it. That's why you see this all watered out like that. In this case, the water's already off, and somebody had it all loose, so that's why it was flopping all around, because it probably had something hanging here. This is looks like the original shower head to a mobile home spin-off. And anyway, we'll be taking this loose, and then on the back side is how you get into this shower. Looks like it's got a screw right there to get into the guts of it. Probably can use this to patch up this drywall in here. So if you'll pan around here, it has the hot water here and the cold water there, and you can tell where I fixed it a long time ago. Put in PEX. There was a busted line in here. So we'll take these loose, this loose, pull this out, and probably, let's see, try this Harbor Freight pair of channel locks, see how they do. We go through a lot, leaving one or two under a house here and there. Shouldn't, but we do. So this is a good example of how this shower works, and it does not have, you could probably put a little bit of thin wood. It could not be a 1x4, I don't believe, because it's got a hold here, and then this sits up against the drywall, and then that tightens right like so. And then you hook your water onto it here. Whereas a regular, what they call a drop-eared elbow, has two screws, and you put the wood behind it, and then the water comes into the bottom of that elbow that has a place for the shower head to fasten to. And that, of course, that drop-eared elbow has these screw holes where you can screw to that 2x4 or such, and that keeps that shower head solid, not depending on the drywall. And that's why a lot of times you'll see in mobile homes the drywall be all tore up around this, and that's why it's depending on the strength of the drywall, which is not very strong. So if you run into that, that's what you're dealing with. You'll have to bring this up, maybe cut that right here, and then put a PEX drop-eared elbow, put a piece of wood in, all that kind of stuff. And then you could have it supported and then replace the drywall. So that could be something that people don't know about their shower and how that shower head, how it works. I'll show you the different, what this is a Quest pipe. It's gray in color. There's another version that's black. There was actually a class action lawsuit to replace all this because of some concerned flaw, but they're actually done with a lot of them are done with copper fittings, and sometimes they have a great big gray Quest fitting, which is a twist together. And I'll have to show you guys how that works if you ever have to take one apart and put it back together. But in reality, they were pretty good, and they are pretty good. And I know plumbers are going to go nuts about it, but I'm telling you, these things will take a freeze and come back, take a freeze and come back, take a freeze and come back. Now, this is Quest, and this is new PEX. I believe this would be PEX A. You notice it's just marginally bigger. Okay. This also will take a freeze and come back, the pipe itself. Now, I use brass fittings. This is actually from the mobile home manufacturer. This is a brass fitting from the mobile home manufacturer. A lot of plumbers, including master plumbers, they use plastic elbows and plastic, and there's all that works. Well, I honestly don't believe in them. I think they're cool and everything, and you save money, quite a lot of money, but I don't do that. So when I use, if I replace, by the way, if you go to put PEX onto Quest, Quest will need 2 crimp rings, and I don't use copper. I use stainless steel, and I can get 2 crimp rings on that barbed fitting that I might put that's connecting PEX into it or coupling up to it. So if you get ready to do that, Quest is still very acceptable. You wouldn't want to throw away everything. And again, I'm telling you, it's just a marginal difference in thickness. And I'm telling you, I've seen them where they're froze up, and what busted is the faucet or the toilet or something connected to this. This is the only issues I've ever seen with either one of these is that mice will go to chewing on these just for maybe this is cold or it's hot, and they chew on it, and then you end up with a leak in the middle of your living room floor, and you're like, how in the world did I get a leak there? There's no connection. It's straight pipe from bathroom to the kitchen. Well, they can chew on this just to get a flavor or something, and it will spray water. So I've had to fix a bunch of that. But Quest pipe. All right. They decided they wanted to replace this cabinet, which I don't blame them. We took out the tub, we cut it up in 3 pieces, about 16 inches up, all the way across the bottom, and then down the middle and the back. That way we get it through the doorways. Generally they set those things in place and then they build walls around them. That's why you see the showers and everything the way they are, the faucets and all that. But anyway, these are the new Cobalt that Lowe's sells Pex Cutters. Actually work pretty good. You can tell they've been muddy. So Christina, you might want to this is a good buy for a Pex Cutter. None of them last very long, they get dull. But I like it. It has a lock, but you can keep it locked, but nobody ever uses. But it works really well, even on Quest, which Quest is thinner. Alright, now we're going to take the trap off. Hopefully not too nasty in there. Always is nasty though. Already got that nasty smell. Ooh, like somebody pissed in there. Maybe they did. Oh yeah, somebody pissed in the sink. This is so much fun. Alright, I got no water to wash my hands either. How untactful is that? Pissing in the sink. It smells terrible. Anyway, I got a 4-pound sledge. Oh, bad smell.
So when we go to eat, we better wash our hands.
It's not that it's that good, it's just rubbery. Ooh. Bad times for whoever did that. That's what I wish upon that.
I'm gonna